Hello friend. To say I am super excited to share this video with you is an understatement. This video is going to be all about my kitchen renovation, so stay tuned. Before we jump into the video, be sure to subscribe to my channel and hit that bell because it will tell you when I have a new video out. All right, let's get to it. Before we jump into the reveal, let me give you a little bit of background because this was a little bit more than a kitchen renovation. We totally gutted the whole kitchen, but we had some extra room that was behind the kitchen because I had a very large laundry room, and at the end of the laundry room was a very small toilet and little sink area. We didn't need that. So that is how we came up with, and I say we because it was all Scott, with the idea of being able to have a hidden pantry. So I explain all that because before we could even start on the kitchen renovation, we had to do all of that first. So, and this has been a 5-month project. So Scott did all of the work and started all the demo to be able to create that hidden pantry. Then it was time to unload all of the kitchen cabinets. My grandkids helped me with it. We stored it all in Scott's office. It was quite a production, but with the help, I got it done. Now, in order to save money, we reused the cabinets from our kitchen in our hidden pantry. And I have a whole video about the hidden pantry. You just click here and you can go over and watch that. Now, another thing that made this project even larger was the fact that we wanted to remove the tile in the kitchen. Now we have an open floor plan. So we knew whatever flooring we were gonna pick in the kitchen, we would just continue that on into the living room. Now Scott is a do-it-himself guy, and he decided I will take that tile up in the kitchen myself. He has now said he will never remove floor tile again. It was such a project. There was the tile remover, the floor underneath, the nails, the screws. It was terrible, but he got it done. So part of my overall design, are you seeing how everything was layering on top of everything else? But I wanted to remove the wall that was between the kitchen and the dining room. It would make it so much better for entertaining, or when family's over, you just feel like you're all in the same room. One of the issues was that wall was a load-bearing wall. So Scott called one of his friends and called in the big guns, and they came in and put a beam so that we were able to open up that wall. Now, another issue with removing that wall was I was losing a lot of cabinets. So that's what made that hidden pantry so important, and utilizing those cabinets in there so that I can have more storage. The last thing I want to share with you about the design, we have an open floor plan, like I said, and we have very high walls in the living room and in the kitchen. Now, in the living room, we did a wood design. I say we again, that was Scott. And in the kitchen, I wanted to bring my cabinets really high, but I still had a lot of wall space up there. So what I decided was I really wanted to have brick, and I wanted it to look like it was a chimney that had been there for a very long time. And I will show you another video about this brick because it's amazing. But doing that chimney made everything come together. It brought the high walls down and made it completely charming. All right, let's go take a look at the kitchen. All right, let's talk about this kitchen. The first thing I want to talk about is the biggest component in the kitchen, and that's the cabinetry. I decided, first of all, I wanted to have the cabinets a lot higher, again, because the wall is so high. Now, can I reach those top cabinets? No, I can't. So I have a ladder, and what I put up there is just things that I use if I'm having company and I'm entertaining. So I don't have to worry about those all the time. Now, the second thing is that I designed the mantle in the middle. Now, before I go into that and show you more pictures, I'm going to do a huge shout out to an Instagrammer I follow and love, and I got the inspiration for my mantle from her. Her name is Tori, and she has the linen rabbit. You will die if you haven't already seen her Instagram. But the reason I wanted a mantle in the middle was twofold. Number one, the top of my cabinets. I've seen a lot where you have glass all the way in the top. I've designed a lot and I love it. I personally didn't want that. I just wanted a closed cabinet. So I knew that's going to be a lot of white going all the way across. So having a mantle gave me two things. One, it gave me kind of a vintage old world feel. And number two, it was a great place to put artwork, and I'm breaking up all of the white by having that artwork. And you know, at Christmas time, I'm going to be having a Christmas wreath up there as well. Let's talk about the color of the cabinets. So on this side, I chose a very off-white color. For the island, I love painted islands, but I wanted something a little different. This is actually a stained black island, and I think they both complement each other beautifully. Let's talk about the hardware. That's the jewelry of the cabinets. Now, in this kitchen design, I really wanted to mix a updated look with a timeless and vintage look as well. The cabinet hardware I chose, a little more updated. Now, on the off-white cabinets, I chose black hardware. And you'll notice at the very top of the cabinets, I did not do the elongated handles, I did round knobs. That gave it a little vintage touch. On the black kitchen island, I did the brass hardware, and that made the hardware stand out wonderfully. For the countertops, I chose quartz, and I'll jump into that in the design video that we're going to have coming up more to understand the difference in different countertops. But I personally chose quartz because I like the look of marble. I really wanted it light and airy and pretty. I chose a farmhouse sink, and my very favorite thing about this is I can wipe off the counters with crumbs and mess directly into the sink and clean it up so much easier than my last sink. Let's talk about the island. I was so excited that we were going to be able to have a much larger island, and the old kitchen, we had a lot of room between the old island and the cabinets. So we actually bumped back the island several inches. Now I wanted a rectangular countertop, but the traffic pattern in here wouldn't allow for that. So we cut edges and angled on each end of the island. Let's talk about the bar stools that I chose. I chose backless. I wanted to keep everything visually clean, but they're gray and white striped, and I was really paying attention to the fact that I wanted them to really show off of the black kitchen island, and they're really comfortable. And I have to give kudos to Scott because he came up with the idea of actually adding an outlet underneath, and we made it black. You can't even tell it's there, but it has turned out to be very beneficial. All right, let's take a look at the hidden pantry. The doors just push in, they're magnetic. And I have to say, I love the hidden pantry so much that I mostly always keep the doors open so I can see and look in there. For the backsplash, I knew I didn't really need a lot of tile, but I just love Subway tile. I know some people say it's in, it's out. You know what? Do what you love, and I love Subway tile. And the one I chose has a little bit of a wave to it. Now, what I felt was very important was choosing the right grout. I chose a darker gray so that this would really stand out and break up from between the cabinets, the upper cabinets and the lower cabinets. And I chose a spice rack drawer next to my oven. On the other side is where I store my cooking pans. I saw this on Pinterest and I had to have it. It organizes all your Ziploc bags. I purchased it off of Amazon. I also have a pull-out trash can, 2 trash cans, which is super helpful. I chose a brass faucet. It matches the brass hardware in the island, something very simple and elegant and timeless. Let's talk about the lighting in the kitchen. If you saw my video on the hidden pantry, that is where Scott lit up every shelf in there, and he did the same thing with my under counter lighting. This is rope lighting. Very easy to install and keeps the light all even all the way across the countertops. I'm gonna be honest, choosing the pendants for the kitchen was the hardest thing. I was going back and forth, but Sarah helped me, and the pendants that I chose are perfect. They're lanterns. They don't have glass in them, so I don't have to clean them, and they add that old world feel that I was looking for. Let's talk about the appliances. I don't know if you've taken a look at appliances out there right now, but they run the gamut. Did you know they even have refrigerators that have a Keurig in them? Okay, I didn't need that. But Scott fell in love with this one, and he loved it because it was a very soft black. Let me show you, I really think the reason he liked this refrigerator. Yeah, this drawer houses his favorite drink, Diet Coke. Now I know you have a lot of questions about what appliances did I choose, how did I make that decision, but I'm gonna address all of those questions when I do a video about how to make choices for your kitchen design. But because Scott loved this soft black refrigerator, I continued about the same brand, same color, but on the island, I didn't want to do that because it really wouldn't stand out. So I chose stainless steel for the appliances that are in the island. One mention, I don't have a lot of counter space over here, and you know I'm going to decorate it. So I didn't want to have a microwave there. And of course I couldn't have a microwave when I have the mantle above the stove. What we chose was a drawer microwave. This is the eat-in kitchen area. I have French doors behind me, traffic pattern, not gonna be an eat-in kitchen. But the issue became I didn't have enough light. So one of my splurges was this beautiful sconce that I had put on the wall. Actually, I had Scott put on the wall. I'm so tickled to talk to you about this. I didn't want to, Scott suggested, do we want to do spotlights? And I was like, no, I really want something soft over here. So a piece of furniture that had to be the exact size was what I was looking for. And Sarah helped me find it and actually helped me go get it from Facebook Marketplace, $70. But the other thing I did to it was I added the legs on the bottom to make it look like a piece of furniture. What this allowed was light, and I found this beautiful lamp at HomeGoods, and then I just accessorized it with some of my very favorite things. And this cabinet also allowed for me to have more storage. When designing, I absolutely love to combine new things with old things. To me, a curated home is so inviting and so welcoming, and every little thing you pick and choose can be very different, can be what you love, and it makes your home unique. So let me talk to you about some of the accessories that I chose for the kitchen, because that's my favorite part. So antique shopping with Sarah, favorite thing to do. We found these two large spoons. Guys, I don't even know if that's what they're called, but they're so cool. So I used command hooks, and I had some paint that's the same color as the cabinet, so I painted the command hooks that same color so it would blend in. In this corner, I added 3 cutting boards. 2 are antique, 1 I found at Hobby Lobby. I added a little greenery that brings any space to life. I found this little brass antique. I don't know what it is, but I loved it. If you guys know what it is, leave me a comment. And then my little recipe box I have had for years, and it's very special to me, so I added that to the left of the stove. When I saw this brass and copper kettle, I had to have it. Now, I don't actually use it. It is just for decor, but I thought it was absolutely beautiful. Over here to the right of the stove, I added a found wooden riser and 2 salt and pepper copper grinders. Actually, Sarah found those for me, and they go really well with the brass and copper kettle that's already sitting on my stove. And then just a little salt and pepper holder, and then a cute little crock from the antique store. I put a little greenery in, nestled it in with a little Spanish moss. Done. In this far corner, I added 2 cookbooks leaning up against the wall, and I found another crock that I just thought was so unique. We filled it with old rolling pins. And I put a picture, and I did hang it on the tile with a command hook. That gave a little bit of more color in the space, and it finished off the accessories wonderfully. I've got to point out the artwork that is above the mantle. First of all, I knew the exact size frame I needed, so I headed off to the antique store and found a frame for $15. Now, the inside of the frame was almost like a rust color, so I painted that black, went on Etsy, found a vintage print, and popped it into this frame without glass, so I didn't have any glare. I could see all the rich colors of this print. Guys, listen, when it comes to designing whatever room you're designing, it is about where to spend your money and where to save it. This beautiful print cost me about $30 when it was all said and done. I went antique shopping again for some of my wall decor. This architectural piece that goes above the wall between the dining room and the kitchen. Oh my goodness, I love it. I think it cost me $90. And these charming little plates that I hung above the door going out to the back patio cost me maybe $15. The print that is under my sconce, again, another antique find, came in the frame just like it was. Reminds me of my childhood and watching Little House on the Prairie. Now, although this process took over 5 months, and there were days I thought, I cannot take this mess another day. Now that it's finished, I am so happy. I have never in my life had a new kitchen, and I am so grateful. So be on the lookout for 2 more videos. I'm going to do a video on making kitchen decisions when you're doing a renovation. It is overwhelming, but I'm going to do my best to simplify it for you. And the second video is going to be about this unbelievable, gorgeous brick, so you don't want to miss it. Everybody, stay safe and stay well.